Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into This Book Is For You by the artist Worry Lines. It's this incredibly charming book that uncovers three really powerful truths about the surprising link between worry and, you guessed it, creativity. So let's get right into it. First up, let's talk about a feeling. A feeling that I'm pretty sure is going to be instantly recognizable to anyone who's ever tried to make something new. You know that feeling, right? You get that lightning bolt of inspiration, that sudden surge of pure excitement, and for just a second, you think, this is it. This is the one. But then, almost immediately, another voice just crashes the party, and it's usually a much, much louder voice. And there it is. That's the battle right at the heart of this book. And it's brought to life by two little characters who are living inside the author's head. You've got Hope, the eternal optimist, and then you have Worry, the professional catastrophizer. The entire creative journey is really just framed as this constant back and forth negotiation, right? Hope looks at something and sees a great opportunity. Worry looks at the exact same thing and sees, and I just love this quote, an absolute breeding ground for disappointment. It's that classic showdown between, this is going to be great, and please, for the love of everything, don't flip out. So, this brings us to our first surprising truth. It's a simple idea, but it totally reframes how we should probably think about our own anxiety. So instead of fighting worry or trying to just get rid of it, the book suggests, hey, what if we just listened to it? In the story, Worry actually explains that its real goal isn't to sabotage the author's dream of making a book. It's actually trying to protect them. And what's really interesting here is Worry's motivation. If you look at it, it's not malicious at all. It's trying to shield the author from getting hurt again. It's saying, hey, remember, hope has let you down before. And, making things is just plain hard. It's basically a misguided attempt to prevent failure, and it's all coming from a place of fear. And this right here, this is Worry's devastatingly simple logic. It's the philosophy of perfect safety through complete inaction. And it's an incredibly persuasive argument, isn't it? It's also the exact thing that leads to total creative paralysis. Okay, so if that little voice of worry is so convincing, how does anybody ever manage to create anything? Well, that leads us straight to the second and honestly maybe the most liberating lesson from the whole book. This is like the ultimate antidote to perfectionism. Don't sit around waiting for that one perfect idea to strike like a lightning bolt. Instead, the author makes this amazing case for the incredible power of just making a lot of stuff, even if most of it is, pretty awful. And this just illustrates the point perfectly. The author literally throws open their sketchbooks for us and reveals these absolute gems like Toothache Dinosaur and the joys of composting. By celebrating the messy, the weird, and the downright bad ideas, they totally demystify the creative process. It's not about being a genius, it's about doing the work. So, the crucial takeaway here is this. Creativity isn't about patiently waiting for some flawless concept to just land in your lap. It's about the relentless act of production. The good ideas, they're hiding in a giant pile of bad ones, and the only way you're going to find them is to start digging. All right, this brings us to our third and final truth, which is all about partnership. See, the goal isn't to get rid of worry to make more room for hope. It's actually something way more interesting than that. At one point in the story, the author gets completely fed up, and they actually try to ditch worry to go find hope all by themselves. But they learn pretty quickly that real progress doesn't come from abandoning that anxious voice. It comes from figuring out how to bring it along for the ride. This is the big breakthrough moment. The author actually turns to worry and admits that it's an essential part of the whole story. Worry isn't just some obstacle, it's a character, it's a strange kind of motivator, and it's a fundamental part of the author's identity. The book uses this fantastic technique called anthropomorphizing, which is a fancy word for turning the feeling of anxiety into a little character you can actually talk to. And in a really clever, kind of meta twist, the characters eventually realize they are living inside the very book that we're reading. And just look at this transformation. Worry goes from being the saboteur-in-chief to being the book's editor. It's still critical, yeah, and it's still anxious, but now all that nervous energy is being channeled into something productive. The relationship shifts from being combative to being collaborative. And this brings us right to the heart of the entire book, which is, at the end of the day, a message for all of us. See, the title isn't just some clever phrase.
The author makes it absolutely clear that this whole journey, this internal tug-of-war between hope and worry, is a shared human experience.
And who is it for? It's for the brave worriers, the socially awkward, the heavy-hearted, and, my personal favorite, people who buy books but never read them. It's this beautiful, warm message of inclusion, and it just reminds us that all these feelings are completely universal. Ultimately, that's the whole point, isn't it? The author is sharing their vulnerability not just to tell a story, but to forge a real connection, to make every single one of us feel a little less alone in our own internal battles. And that's the final thought I want to leave you with. The big takeaway from this wonderful book isn't some magic formula to get rid of anxiety. It's more like an invitation to see your worry not as an enemy you have to defeat, but maybe, just maybe, as a loyal, if deeply annoying, sidekick in your own creative story.